Hello. So right now we're going to talk about unclear modifiers. And generally speaking, there are two types of modifiers that cause problems. The first one is a misplaced modifier, it's in the wrong spot, and a dangling modifier, which totally leaves you hanging. Let's take a look at this sentence. Sprinkled with coriander, kids love these potatoes. I didn't know that we were sprinkling children with spices. We were talking about potatoes. Or, after being beaten to a froth, the cook poured the eggs into the pan. We're beating the cook to a froth? That's dangerous. Or, how about coming across the campus, the library met my gaze. I don't like the library checking me out while I'm walking across the campus. That's a little weird. This is a classic one. We have Abraham Lincoln wrote his speech on a train on the back of an envelope. So the train was on the back of the envelope and then he wrote a speech on top of it? No, that's not what we mean. So how can I revise these unclear modifiers? The first thing that I can do is that I can move the modifier, the group of words that are explaining or giving more detail, I can move them closer to the word or the phrase that they're modifying. So let's do that with the examples we'd already talked about. What is sprinkled with coriander? The potatoes. Or the potatoes sprinkled with coriander. So notice they're together. They're close to one another. Or how about that cook that we were beating? No, we're not beating the cook. We are beating the eggs, right? So the eggs come right after that. After being beaten to a froth, the eggs are poured into the pan. That's what we want to see. Now, how else can I revise my unclear modifiers? Maybe I just need to add some more words so that the meaning is more specific, more clear. For instance, as I walked across campus, my gaze fell on the library. Now I'm walking across campus and I am doing the looking. Or Abraham Lincoln wrote his speech. The speech was written on the back of the envelope while Abraham Lincoln is on the train. So the envelope and Lincoln are on the train. The speech is on the back of the envelope. We don't want to have any speeches written on the back of trains. That's odd. So let's move on to the next kind of modifier. This is called dangling. In other words, it's going to leave us hanging. We're going to be missing something. For instance, walking down the street, the trees were beautiful. I didn't know that trees walk down the street outside of Lord of the Rings. Or, after reading the book, the movie will be disappointing. Movies are reading now? When did that happen? So how can we fix this? Well, sometimes you just need to add a subject so that the modifier has something to modify. So let's try this out with our examples. Walking down the street, the trees were beautiful? No. We need an I. I am doing the walking down the street. So walking down the street, I saw that the trees were beautiful. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Or after reading the book, how about after I finished reading the book, I thought that the movie will be disappointing. So just remember that your modifiers need to be close to the words or phrases that they are modifying.